observed twice a year at the time of the equinoxes in the spring and in the autumn. It is a time when ancestors are remembered with gratitude and when Buddhists concentrate on practicing the 6 paramitas, or perfections of the heart, which are dana, charity or generosity; sila, the practice of the precepts; shanti, patience or humility; virya, vigor or fortitude; dhyana, meditation; and prajna, wisdom. In Sanskrit, the word paramita means crossing over to the other shore. The other shore is the shore of peace and enlightenment. The officiant of this service is Reverend Jiko Nakade, who will be assisted by Deacon Amy Jikai Nakade. We will begin with the Shobo Gowasan by the Daifukuji Baikako Plum Blossom Choir. Please rise when the minister enters. We will have the offering of flowers by representatives of the various temple groups and the Higan Gowasan by the Baikako. Representing the Daifukuji Kyodan Board, Stephen Shodo Tanaka. Daifukuji Ujinkai, Joyce Yuko St. Armand. by Reverend Jishō.
On the 17th day of March, in the year 2024, I, together with those assembled here at the Daifukuji Soto Mission in Kona, Hawaii, observe the spring Higan service and the 33 Kannon pilgrimage. At this time of the spring equinox, we pay homage to the Buddha Shakyamuni and to our eminent ancestors of the Soto Zen lineage. We also express gratitude to our family ancestors whose love, toil, and sacrifices have made our lives today possible. As Buddhists, we renew our determination to practice the 6 perfections of the heart, the paramitas, which help us to cross over from the shore of delusion to the shore of enlightenment. May our lives be illuminated by the wisdom of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May our hearts open to their compassion. And may we, together with all beings, awaken to Buddhahood. Namu Kie Butsu, Namu Kie Ho, Namu Kie So. We take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge in the Dharma, we take refuge in the Sangha. Namu Shakyamuni Butsu, Namu Shakyamuni Butsu, Namu Shakyamuni Butsu.
Please rise for the Vandana Tisarana, which is on your program or on page 17 in the Sutra book. Please be seated. Let us enjoy a moment of zazen or silent meditation. Please join in the offering of Sun Pai, 3 bows to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Next, let us chant the Heart Sutra, which can be found on the back of your program. We will be chanting only in English this time.
Ah the guidance of the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. At this spring Ohigan service, we have recited the Makahanya Haramita Shingyo Heart of Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra, and offered flowers, candlelight, food, and incense. We dedicate the merits of our practices to deceased members and ancestors, to all who have in the past supported our temple, to all victims of terror and wars, and to all beings in the Dharma world. From our hearts we pray for peace in our temple, for peace in our community, and peace in our world. May all beings be guided by the Buddha's teachings and awaken to deep wisdom. And may we in our wholeness realize the way of the Buddha together.
Today's Dharma message will be given by Eliana Jishō Sattler. Born in Paraná, Entre Rios, Argentina, Eliana had a beautiful childhood and adolescence in a loving family. From an early age, she enjoyed natural surroundings, plants, and animals. She started her career as an educator in the 1960s. Upon moving to Hawaii in 1980, she continued teaching young children. In Kona, Eliana taught at a Waldorf school and also a public school. The last 23 years of her career, she focused on therapeutic education, teaching children with diverse capacities and different way of learning. She retired in 2020 after more than 50 years of working with children. She is a member of Daifukuji Soto Mission. She serves on the board of directors and in the Zazen Kai and Dharma Keiki boards.
Thank you, Shalini. Aloha, everyone. Great to see you. And I'm very honored that Jiko Sensei asked me today to talk about one of the masters of Soto Zen schools. We see his statue. If you are looking to the Buddha to your left, this is Keizan Senji, and in the other side we have Dogen Senji. This year we are celebrating the 700-year memorial of Keizan Senji. Since the late 19th century, Keizan Jokin has officially been designated, along with Dogen, as one of the two founding patriarchs of the Japanese Soto Zen school. The adoption of Keizan as a patriarch equal to Dogen was meant to symbolize that all Soto lineages also accepted So-Jiji, the temple that Keizan founded, as head temple equal to Dogen's Eiheiji that we hear so much about. Keizan studies Zen, directly under 4 of Dogen's leading disciples, Ejo, Jakuen, Gien, and Ikai. And we can see, as I said, the 2 wooden statues that in the board we are trying to have repaired and renewed, and we're very excited that we have somebody that will visit us to decide how to continue with the project. They're very dear to us, have been there for many years, and need a little touch-up, like I do too. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the childhood of Keizan Tenchi. 2 other Dharma friends have done a bit of an exploration on the later years, and so I'm going to remain with him as a young person, but also I will talk about the tremendous influence that his mother and his grandmother had in his life. That is very touching to me and to many of us, because with him, the role of women in Zen really changed from just being patrons to being influential in the practice and in the running of temples and into the Sangha, in the Sangha as well. The sources that I utilize for my notes are William Bodiford, Thomas Cleary, and Takao Kosai. Keizan Senshi was born in medieval Japan in the year 1264 in the province of Echizen. His mother was a kind Daishi who lived in rural settings where the beliefs on nature, spirits, and shamanism was very, very strong. You will see how Keizan was such an important figure, bringing not only the seriousness of Zen, with all the rules, with the protocols that are very important, with a certain playfulness in this nature, spirits, beliefs that were so strong in the Japanese culture in medieval times. Ekan, also his mother, believed in the power of dreams, visions, and astrological readings. She was a very dedicated devotee to Kannon-sama, that today we will have the honor to walk over all the soil of all the temples of the 33 Kannon temples in Japan. So this is very, very meaningful to understand the story and the foundations of the Soto Zen school with the beautiful Kannon so intermingled with it, thanks to Keizan. She was also a dedicated devotee to Kannon-sama, that, as we know, is another name for Avalokiteshvara, that is the Sanskrit name of this Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva of Compassion, Bodhisattva of Mercy, the one that hears all the cries of the world. It is said that Kannon hears the cries of the world. As a young woman, Ekan had the fortitude and inspiration to repair a statue of Kannon-sama that she placed on an altar. Ekan was separated from her mother Miyochi when she was 18 years old. Many years later, Ekan Daishi, Keizan's mom, went to a temple in Kyoto to pray for support in finding her mother. The Kiyomizu temple was known for the healing waters that ran down the hillsides into pools. A Kan drank this water, who she knew had healing powers, and one morning she saw a carved head of Kannon lying in the mud. It was a small and nicely carved head, and she made a vow to have a body carved and set the statue at home. She asked Kannon to help her find her mother, and soon after, a Kandaishi found her mother, who has been Dogen's late disciple when she was young. One night, a Kan dreamed that she had swallowed the warmth of the morning sun, and when she woke up, she realized she was with child. Immediately she went to the altar where she had Kannon and spoke to her this way. If this unborn child is to become a holy man, a great religious master, and is to become of benefit to gods and human beings, then let me have an easy delivery. However, if these are not to be, then Avalokiteshvara, use your spiritual powers to wither it dead while still in my womb. Every day for 7 full months, a Kan made 1,333 prostrations and recitations to Avalokiteshvara Sutra Kannon-gyo. Then she traveled to worship in a building dedicated to Kannon-sama. When she was in the Avalokiteshvara worship hall in Tane village in the province of Echisen, she gave birth to a male child who she named Gyosho. A short while later, a Kandaishi took vows as a nun, and the baby's grandmother, Nyochi, helped raise him. This is the part that I really love because it touches my heart and how I see the relationship of mothers and teachers with children. Daishi took every opportunity to bring her baby to her favorite temple in Tokyo, the Saju-Sagendo of the 33,000 canons. 1,001 canons with multiple heads. We have a statue there, you will see in darker skin, and arms. It was placed in an environment of gold and shadows. The Kannon figures filled her eyes, her mind, and she wanted these statues and the spirit of Kannon to fill the baby's mind, the baby destined to be a great leader. Keizan's spirituality was strongly influenced by his mother. The pious woman filled her young son's fertile imagination as he stood before the statue of the Bodhisattva with stories of how those who reverence Kannon would be richly rewarded. He inherited the diverse magical religious beliefs of medieval Japan just as readily as he has accepted his mother's faith in Kannon. And there is where I find that relationship. I have other friends in the audience that also work in Waldorf with me and understand this tremendous influence that we can have with the stories, with magical stories, with fairy tales, with nature. Going into nature just to be with nature, not in the scientific way, but in the presence, in the feeling, in the observing, in feeling your eyes, in feeling your heart. That's what we need for the children, and Keizan was so lucky to have that kind of influence. I read somewhere that children are vessels full of dreams. Please treat with care. Today, when the theme, the Spanish is getting into my English, or a student of mine used to say. Today's theme of our gathering here is walking the path of compassion. That's we need for ourselves, for the Sangha as adults, but for the children. Today we concentrate sometimes in the pain in the world, all these wars, all these tremendous things, and I try to think of everyone but the children. The children are the ones that really touch me, how much we need to care. Thank you, Derek, you're doing a great job. The first 8 years of his religious development seem to have been guided as much by women as by men. Women play powerful roles in many early Zen communities, as I mentioned before, including those of Dogen and Higan, but just as patrons. Keizan, he learned from women, and as I said before, especially his mother, Ekandaishi, and his grandmother, Miyoji. In later life, Keizan had a very strong relationship with Sonin that he felt was a reincarnation of his grandmother. He spent his first 8 years raised by his grandmother, who was one of Dogen's first patrons on his return from China. So Keizan's links to the Soto Zen school began literally before his worldly existence. As a young toddler, he was guided to work with his quick temperament. I can relate with this one. Keizan tended to explode in righteous anger when perceiving injustice. And he prayed to Kannon to help him to be more compassionate and kind. He left home at 7 years of age to become a novice at Ohigan. He was given the name Jokin. His decision to become a monk might have been prompted by his grandmother urging or by her death. He had a mystical temperament and had, as his mother before, frequent visions and dreams from which he drew strength to carry on. At age 13, he again went to live at AAG and was officially ordained as a monk under age of Senji, and he was given the name Keizan, Jokin. When Ejo Senji looked upon this young 13-year-old boy so fervently committed to the precepts of the Buddha, he is said to have prophetically foreseen a source of hope for the then beleaguered Soto school. Keizan had an enormous influence in Japanese Soto Zen, and most important trait was his ability to combine the monastic religion of Zen with the simple religious sentiments of rural Japan. So, having a conversation yesterday with Jiko Sensei, I was made aware that Avalokiteshvara, the original Bodhisattva of Compassion in India, was represented as a male figure. Then in China, Kannon-sama was represented as a female, Kuan Yin. And we have a binary, Kannon-sama, and also beautiful paintings of females, Kannon, by Mayumi Ota that I see here in the audience. Thank you, Mayumi, for those beautiful paintings. So I invite you to hold in your heart and open your heart, the bodhicitta, to more compassion, more kindness, more love, and having this a beautiful Zen master from more than 700 years, because 700 years that he passed away. And that not to forget that our temple, our Daifukuji, not only is guided by a magnificent female reverend, but also we have that beautiful hall dedicated to Kannon, and that every third Wednesday of the month, 10 o'clock in the morning, we gather in the hall to honor Kannon-sama. Namo Kanzeon Bosatsu. Namo Kanzeon Bosatsu. Namo Kanzeon Bosatsu.
Thank you so much, Eliana Jishō, for today's Dharma message and for bringing it to the present and how it touches you personally and what we can do to let it inspire us. Please rise for the singing of the Shomyo. The words are on your program. This concludes the Ohigan service, but there will be more. We will have a 5-minute intermission to prepare for the 33 Kannon Osuna Fumi pilgrimage.